We at all never know what is coming. We just see it happening. Meet a family that has extraordinary fingers. She is called Grace. She is called Josiane. She is called Joseline. And this old lady is called Francoise. Grace is a mother, and she was born with 3 fingers on one hand and totally none on the other. And she said that this was something she could not manage to do anything about. So she decided to just live with it the way she was. Grace says that when she noticed that her fingers were different from all other children, she decided to go and ask her mother why she was not looking normal. And then her mother said that that's how she was born. When Grace was 5 years old, that's when she noticed this, and she always had lots of hope that one day she will wake up in the morning with all her fingers looking normal. But her mother kept telling her that this will never happen at all, because she was going to stay like this for the rest of her life. When Grace always tried to get close to other children, they did not always want to associate with her, and they kept walking away because they did not want to play with a disabled child, since they thought that they would also get infected, which was not true at all. She cannot do some kind of housework with this disability, and she always keeps hurting seeing others being able to use their hands to work and earn money for taking care of their families, and she cannot do anything like that at all. Grace says that before her father passed away, he always worked as hard as he could just to give her daughter anything she wanted in this life. And she remembers at one point when he took her to school to learn how to read and write, which was something that was not easy at all for her. Her old mother does everything for her, including washing clothes, cooking, and a lot more. And this is something that they all do not like at all. So they decided to get used to it. Grace says that this disability did not end with her alone, because when she was pregnant, she was always scared that she would give birth to a child with such a disorder. And in 2001, she gave birth to these girls who are twins, and when she looked at their fingers, she got hurt a lot. The younger one has 4 huge fingers on the sides of her hands, and she does not have a middle finger on both of her hands. And the other one, the problem with her is that the index finger and the middle finger are all attached together, but one can hardly see it unless they are close enough. Grace says that the younger twin with 4 fingers is called Josiane, but she has not yet learned to live with this at all, because every time when she's taking pictures, she always hides them, and when she's with a lot of people, she still hides them too. This hurts her a lot, and she keeps hoping that maybe one day her children will understand that this was something that they were going to live with forever. But on the other hand, She does not blame them too, because it was also not easy for her to take it in.
nta kintu no gufura baramfurira mbese buri kintu icyo ari cyo cyose ntacyo nshoboye.
ubwo kuva ukiri umwana nuko nguko nyine ibintu byose barabigukorera.
She couldn't in any way manage to take her children to school because she needed money to do that, which was worked for, and yet she could not work because of the structure of her fingers that can barely hold anything. And she says that at this point she had totally lost hope of them ever going to school at all. Different people in this society realized that Grace could not give her children the basic needs they needed in their daily life, so they decided to give them a few, and sometimes they give them books, pens, shoes, clothes, which also happens once in a while. She is called Josiane. She is 16 years old. She says that when she was still a little girl, she did not have a problem about how she was because she was still a young child, but when she started growing up, gaining reasoning and understanding, things changed. She noticed that it was not normal at all, and she went to ask her mother Grace, who also told her that it is how they were born, and she should be able to learn how to live with it. She cannot do some things just like other children because of her fingers, and sometimes she tries to wash clothes, which is also not easy for her. She says that she used to sit down and think why her mother and her were like this, which made her go to ask some of her relatives, who told her that it was something that happens to a lot of people. She says that when she is in class and she is trying to hold a pen in order to write, it is not something that is easy, but she tries her level best and uses it. Her fellow students always used to laugh at her, but now they are getting used to her, which is kind of normal now. She is called Joseline. Her middle and her index finger are attached together, and she says that this is a problem, especially when she's holding a pen and trying to write in class. She is left-handed, and she says that sometimes her fingers get swollen and they become too painful. This old lady is called Françoise, and she is the mother to Grace. She says that Grace's father was the person that all this might have come from. He also had a problem on his right hand, but his case was not as serious as Grace turned out to be. Françoise was surprised to see how her child turned out to be, and she got fear that if she gave birth to other children, they will all turn out like this, and that's why she decided to never give birth to another child, which means that Grace is the only child that she has.
baravuze bati umubyeyi yabyaye ntabwo nabyaye nimumbabarire ntunzajya nshyahehe mu bandi babyeyi nabyaye umwana umeze gutya.
She kept wondering how she was going to keep washing, cooking for her daughter, but she could not still find an answer to such questions. She is very old and does not work anymore, which means that this family has totally no one with working potential to be able to work and support others, and they live by the help of good Samaritans in the society who give them food. When Grace gave birth to these twins, it was something that shocked her too, and proved that this was going to be genetic. They eat once a day because all of them cannot work, and Grace is requesting for help in order to get what to eat, take care of her children and her mother as well. Thank you for watching Afrimax English. This is Prince. Do not forget to subscribe.